Welcome back to another sim of the 2020 Toronto Blue Jays season. I'm JayBlue of Blue Jays From Away. You can find me on Twitter at JaysFromAway, www.bluejaysfromaway.com, and thanks to GM Games for hosting us here at their YouTube channel. So if you just joined us, we're right where we left off. We're talking trade with the Boston Red Sox. The Boston Red Sox have come asking about Rowdy Tellez, and they've offered JD Martinez. And I think what we were looking at last time was sending Tellez and reliever Juan Nunez for Martinez, with the Red Sox picking up 5% of his salary. I've actually managed to get that a little bit more in our favor to 10% of his salary, and exchanging Juan Nunez for Donnie Sellers in our prospect offer. And they seem to be ready to make that deal, so we're going to make that trade. And we have traded for an all-star. That's pretty cool. We also have the trade has been completed. The fans are ecstatic that we have signed JD Martinez, so that might actually do something for increasing attendance. Now, we just want to make sure that we go to our DFA and waivers list. Now, we do have room on the 40-man, and we do have room on the active roster because we traded Tellez, who is on the active roster. So the question now is where to put Martinez. Now, Martinez, defensively, as a left fielder, is very bad, so he's going to be our DH. So it's actually trading a DH for a DH, so not really a lot of worrisome problems. We just plug him in right into the spot where Rowdy Tellez was, and that is pretty simple. And if we play in the National League parks, we're going to worry about that when we get there. Okay, so let's go to today's sim. We start playing against the Los Angeles Angels with Anthony Kay on the mound. And we open up with a loss 7-4 against the Angels. Kay wasn't great, he wasn't bad. 4 runs in 6 innings. Wade Davis, another solid outing. Dolis, but it was Wilmer Font who gave up the GOAT here. Home runs, we got one from Randall Grichuk, who is our team leader with 26. He drove in 3 runs, Travis Shaw with a couple hits, and Reese McGuire with a couple of hits. Now, we are coming up to the trade deadline, and one thing I do want to see is if I can pick up somebody to help catching-wise. So Travis d'Arnaud is on the trade block. d'Arnaud, former Blue Jay prospect, he was traded to the New York Mets in the deal that brought R.A. Dickey back to the Blue Jays. So he's definitely a guy to look at. Kurt Suzuki, another solid catcher, decent defensively, not as good as d'Arnaud defensively, much older than d'Arnaud. And, he's not doing very much offensively. So right now, d'Arnaud is the best of the bunch. Rob Brantley, he looks like a backup catcher, 31 years old. Kurt Casale, not bad, but also more looking like a backup. Wellington Castillo, Jason Castro. None of these guys are really producing everyday numbers. Robinson Chirinos, Jonathan Lucroy, Russell Martin, of course, former Blue Jay. James McCann. He's actually producing, but again, he's playing in a very limited role. Josh Fegley. Stallings, Wieters, Juan Centeno. Centeno's playing a lot, but he's playing in AAA. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to just take a look and see what they are looking for Travis d'Arnaud. So we're going to go call up Alex Anthopoulos, the GM of the Braves. So what they would be looking for would be Ken Giles, Randall Grichuk, Travis Shaw, and that would be a straight one-on-one deal. That said, Let's see if we can tempt them with a prospect or something like that. Let's look at who's in Lansing. So who's our best prospect here that we feel like we can really give up to get something? Well, Miguel Geraldo is suspended. Dunedin, we have Moreno. I'm going to offer Griffin Conine and see... Okay, we can't afford the contracts. We have $2 million in budget space, and he is a little more expensive, so we'd have to send somebody back from the major league team that would balance those contracts a little bit. Let's try sending Reese McGuire, and that really doesn't make much of a difference. So the guy that they would want was Ken Giles, Grichuk, or Shaw. Grichuk is making a lot of money. He is, though, our defensive player and one of our best hitters this year. Travis Shaw is not making a ton. And Ken Giles is obviously our closer, and, you know, he's getting expensive. Giles is making $9.6 million, but he is coming off the books at the end of this year. And now that we've got Martinez to pay, he might be a little bit of a luxury. So if they want Giles, we're going to remove Conine. And this, I think, is a bad deal. It's a bad deal. It is not good. And the only way to make it better would be to really get a good prospect from the Braves. And the Braves don't like giving up their top prospect. They do have a lot of talent. I wonder if this would do it. No. So it doesn't look like we're going to get anything good back. And I'm looking specifically for an outfield prospect, and there's not a lot here. If I look at their major league team, I mean, they've got some really high-level guys, like Ronald Acuna Jr. They're not going to trade him. Ender Inciarte, again, they're not going to trade him. He's hitting .321, yeah. And if they wanted more, we'd have to give up something. Again, they like some of our prospects a lot more than we do. But for now, we're just going to abandon these trade talks. All right, so we are here. We're going into our second game of the sim. And we lost. We got 5 hits in a 2-0 loss. Matt Shoemaker, again, pretty good on the mound. 5 innings, 2 runs. The relief staff was pretty good, but the offense didn't do much. We got a double from Bichette and just 5 hits overall in this loss. All right, and now we've got Trent Thornton on the mound. Remember, Trent Thornton, he's on the bubble. Let's see if he contributes with a poor outing. So we've got Derek Fisher injured day to day. We're not going to worry too much about that, but we are going to go back here to check out what happened. 7-2 loss. Trent Thornton, not a bad start again. 5 innings, 3 runs, 2 home runs, though. Dolis Baraki got hit hard in just a third of an inning, and Sean Reed Foley. Derek Fisher was injured while running. And then on the offensive side, 8 hits, just 2 runs. Doubles for Guerrero, Martinez, Grichuk. Yeah, it's not been a good week so far. And we're going to finish. We're going to have a day off, so that is a nice thing for today. We'll just check out our pitching matchup. All right, Alex Cobb against Nate Pearson. And I couldn't even... And here we go. We're going to finish today. And so we have a player development update. We're going to just check that out in a second. Any awards? No, we probably would have gotten a... Patrick Sandoval was the top rookie. We probably would have gotten a notification had there been an award. It is now August 1st. The trade deadline has passed, And we lost 5-0, even with Nate Pearson on the mound with a solid start, 5 innings, 2 runs. But the offense has just gone to sleep. 3 walks for Vladdy Guerrero, 1 hit for Biggio, 2 hits for Fisher. Fisher, who is, I guess, a little bit banged up, but let's take a look at Fisher. Oh, he seems to be okay now. I guess a couple days off helped him rest up. So the trade deadline has passed. We're just going to check out our messages, anything come in. And we had the player development update, so we can take a look here. Sean Reed-Foley, his stamina drops, potential movement rating, and current movement rating goes up, so that's really nice to see. Current stuff improves for Nate Pearson. Potential control improves for Nate Pearson. Kevin Biggio, his contact rating improved, and potential rating improved. Vladdy Guerrero, contact rating improves now to 80. Power rating has dropped a little bit. And overall rating has gone up a little bit too. Billy McKinney gets some bumps. TJ Zoik, his movement has dropped. Potential control rating has gone up. But he's not going to be as good as maybe we thought. Jacob Wagaspak, a little bit of improvement. Riley Adams, a little bit of improvement. Forrest Wall, a little bit of improvement. Adam Kloffenstein, a little bit of improvement. Hopefully that will show itself in some results. We got some improvements here from Will Robertson, Brandon Eisert, Samad Taylor, Otto Lopez, Miguel Giraldo. He's dropped at shortstop, and that's because he's not playing shortstop. He's playing third base right now. So Miguel Giraldo loses a little bit on defense, but his potential eye and his current eye have both improved. Saldana, draftee, current stuff improves, potential movement and potential control drop. Velocity is up a little bit. Gabriel Ponce, Nick Gonzalez is dropping, and what that's kind of looking like is like they've taken a look at him and said he's probably not as good as we think he is. Same with Ben Hernandez. Jose Rivas de San Brown is improved, and Jag Burden also probably not as good as they think he was. All right, we've taken a look at that. Let's look at Game 2 against the Baltimore Orioles. We've got Tanner Roark against Irvin Santana. Irvin Santana, he's been around so long they don't even bother publishing his ERA. So we get a win, 6-5. That was the first win of the week. Billy McKinney, major contributor with 3 for 4, 3 singles and a walk. And Ken Giles got his save. JD Martinez hit a 2-run single. Richard Urania, former Blue Jay, had a run-scoring double against Giles. So McKinney 3 for 4. Guerrero with a hit, Bichette with a hit, Fisher with a hit, Martinez with a hit. Double for Fisher. Bichette with another stolen base. That gives him 20. And Roark with a solid start. He did give up 2 home runs. We're going to look for guys with better movement ratings as we move forward. And it's Sunday. It is the final sim day of the week. We are going to sim today against the Baltimore Orioles. Hopefully pick up another win. And we didn't. We lost 12-6. Matt Shoemaker took the loss. Offensively, we got a home run from Travis Shaw, Bo Bichette with a double, 2 walks for him, a couple hits for Billy McKinney. But Shoemaker, 7 runs. He might have been going on short rest. Barucki with 4 innings to pick him up, but Sean Reed-Foley got hit hard. So that was an ugly game, and we are done the week for the Blue Jays. 5-loss week. Don't know what to say about that, but we'll check out the Buffalo Bisons, and again, we have to go back to July to see what was going on. All right, so we got a 9-4 loss. Quickly looking at what's going on. Andy Burns with a couple hits and a couple RBI. Jonathan Davis, Anthony Alford with a double. He was 1 for 4. Caleb Joseph 1 for 3 with a walk and a double. Chase Anderson, he's on his rehab assignment. He got hit fairly hard, so we're going to give him another couple of starts before we bring him back. Taylor Saucedo with a good outing. Zach Jackson, not so good outing, and Connor Fisk finishing it off. A 5-3 win against Gwinnett. They're the Braves, AAA affiliate. Home run from Jonathan Davis, his 7th of the year. Alford with a couple hits. Ruben Tejada with 4 hits, including a double. Forrest Wall with a hit, including a double. Andy Burns, another 2-hit game. And Patrick Kivlahan, a 2-hit game. Shun Yamaguchi, He is in the minors because he was really bad in the majors. 6 innings, 3 runs, 3 walks, 5 hits, 5 strikeouts, and 2 home runs. So he's still giving up home runs. Curtis Taylor and Danny Jimenez and Ty Tice finished it off. 5-7 loss to Gwinnett. 2 hits for Mitch Walding, including a double. We had Riley Adams with 2 hits. Couple RBIs for Patrick Kivlahan, Ruben Tejada, Anthony Alford, both with a hit each. Jacob Wagaspak, 3 runs in 5 innings. Jake Petrichka, Curtis Taylor, and Danny Jimenez. Danny Jimenez with a better outing. Curtis Taylor not as good. And a 10-6 win against Toledo. Toledo is the Cleveland, or is it Detroit? It's either Cleveland or Detroit. I think they are the... Good question. I think they're Cleveland. I think they're the... no, they're Detroit. Columbus is the Cleveland affiliate. So it's the Detroit AAA affiliate. Home run from Forrest Wall, a double for Forrest Wall. He had a couple hits, 3 RBIs. 2 hits, 3 RBIs for Jonathan Davis. Anthony Alford 1 for 2 before coming out. He was injured, hit by a pitch, and he's going to be gone for 4 days, but it's minimal. Thomas Pannone, not a great start. He came out early. TJ Zoik with a decent outing, 6 strikeouts, but 3 walks and 3 1/3. Connor Fisk, strong outing again. And we move to August, 9-0 win against Toledo. 4-hit game for Andy Burns. Andy Burns with a double in that, and 3 hits for Jonathan Davis. Roman Fields with a triple. 2 hits for Anthony Alford and Ruben Tejada each. Philippe Beaumont, really good start. 6 innings, no runs, 5 hits, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. James Dykstra with a nice outing. And a 1-0 win against Toledo. Nice quick game. I wonder how long it was. 2 hours, 55 minutes. That's a little long for a 1-0 game. Chase Anderson back on the back off the schneid with a 7 scoreless inning game. Danny Jimenez and Ty Tice finish it off. 1 run. We got it from a home run from Riley Adams. 2 hits from Tejada. And the New Hampshire Fisher Cats finish up July with, 3 losses and a win in that partial week. 4 hits here for the club. Palacios with a double. Winkowski with a very strong start. Despite taking the loss, 6 innings, 1 run. So that's, I think, 2 starts in a row that were really nice for Josh Winkowski. We did beat Hartford. They're the Colorado Rockies AA affiliate. Cullen Large 2 hits there, including a triple, and Vinny Capra with a 3-hit game. And Cullen Large also added a double. Alejandro Kirk pinch hitting was 1 for 1 with a double and an RBI. Elvis Luciano back in AA with his first start since being recalled. 4 innings, 3 runs, 3 walks, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts. Justin Dillon, 2 runs and 6 strikeouts in 4 1/3. Julian Fernandez and Jency Diaz finishing it off. So not a great return to AA for Elvis Luciano. In this one, it was a 3-2 loss to Hartford. We had 3 hits from Ryan Noda. Kirk left 4 guys on base, 0 for 4. Logan Warmoth, 1 for 4. Demi Ormaloy, 1 for 3. Patrick Murphy, a decent start, 4 innings, but it's tough when you don't go 5 at least. 4 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Not a bad line. I'd be very happy with that if that was a relief outing, but not as a start. And Ryan Noda in this one, 3 hits, and that's the same game we just looked at. 4-2 win over Harrisburg. Harrisburg is the Washington Nationals AA affiliate. And Josh Palacios, strong game, 2 for 3 with a home run. Alejandro Kirk, 2 for 5. Cullen Large, 2 for 5. Matt Jones, 3 for 4. Graham Spraker started 1 1/3, and I just lost that. He was injured, and he is just a minor injury there. John Harris, strong outing in relief. Zach Logue, also strong, and Julian Fernandez with the save. Then we lost 14-2. Joey Murray and Travis Bergen and Justin Dillon all got hit really hard. And on the offensive side, Alejandro Kirk 1 for 3 with a home run, driving in both runs for the Fisher Cats. And that was the 14-2 loss. We've seen that one already, and now we go to August 1st. Opening up the month, Josh Palacios, another strong game, 3 for 5. Demi Ormaloy with a double. Christian Williams, 2 for 4 with an RBI. And Logan Warmoth with a double. And on the mound, Josh Winkowski, another very strong start, 7 2/3 innings, 2 runs. Sean Weimer and Julian Fernandez blew the save, another outing where he was touched up. But our player of the game, Josh Winkowski. And to finish off the week, a 13-6 win. Nice offense here. Alejandro Kirk with 2 hits. Kevin Smith, 3 for 5 with a home run. And no double for him. Christian Williams, 3 for 6. Vinny Capra, 2 for 3 with 2 walks and a double. Demi Ormaloy, 1 for 5 with a double. Kevin Vicuña was 2 for 6 with a double and 2 RBI. Really nice work here. 3 for 5 for Josh Palacios. Palacios is probably, if he's not player of the week in the Eastern League, I'm just, you can go to his history and see. Eastern League All-Star selection. So he was an All-Star this season. So that's great to see from Palacios. So he's having a really nice season. And Elvis Luciano with a solid start. 6 innings, 2 runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Brad Wilson got touched up a little bit. Zach Logue finished it off. And now we head to, we don't want to go to Lansing. Lansing is not the next team down. The next team down is Dunedin. And we'll go back to July. And a lot of losses, a lot of extra innings. 5-2 loss here against Bradenton, the Pirates Advanced A affiliate. Gabriel Moreno, he's been featured in some trade talks. He hit a home run. So did Casey Clemens. And Cameron Eden was 2 for 3 with a walk and a double. Jackson Rees got a spot start here, 2 innings. It looked like a bullpen day here. Not a bad outing for the bullpen, but Rakowski and Bushi both got hit for a couple runs, and Bushi took the loss. 11-1 win over Bradenton. Offensively, we got home runs from Nick Podkuhl, who was 3 for 4 with 5 RBI. And Chris Beck hit 2 home runs, going 2 for 4 with 3 RBI. We also had a 2-hit game from Hagen Danner, who drove in a couple. Cameron Eden hit a double. Jake Brodt hit a double. Otto Lopez was 1 for 2 with 2 walks, so a nice game for him as well. Alec Manoa, this is what we want to see, folks, from Alec Manoa. Manoa with 7 innings, 1 run, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Marcus Reyes polishing it up for the win. Now, a 5-2 loss in 10 innings. 2 hits for Chavez Young. Gabriel Moreno, 2 hits with a home run. He's had a strong week already. Kyle Johnston, another solid start. This was his first start up in Advanced A this season. He's been in Lansing for most of the year, so that's good to see a good adjustment there to the new level. Josh Hyatt took the loss. And another loss in 13 innings, 7-6. On the mound, Maverick Bufo, a solid start for him. 6 innings, 2 runs, but Sean Rakowski got hit. Cree Finfrock got hit. Maximo Castillo took the loss. And a home run from Casey Clemens. Clemens was 2 for 5. Gabby Moreno, 3 for 7. And Otto Lopez with another 2-hit game, while Samad Taylor was 2 for 5 with an RBI and 2 walks. And then another loss against Palm Beach, 3-1. Not much offense here, just 5 hits. We had a double from Chris Beck, who drove in a couple runs and took a couple of walks and stole his 24th base of the season. Alex Nolan, 5 1/3 scoreless innings as the starter, but the runs came against Josh Hyatt. And here we go into August, still against Palm Beach. 8-5 win, and we had 2 hits from Samad Taylor, including a home run, his 11th. Chavez Young hit a home run, his 5th of the year, and Chris Beck hit a home run, his 5th. Norberto Obeso with 2 for 4, so 2 hits for him. Juan DePaula, another solid start. The starters have really done nicely here in Dunedin. Nick Podkul injured while running the bases. He's got a mild day-to-day injury. Jackson Rees gave up a couple runs, and that was the worst of the relief outings in this one. But yeah, we've had some very good pitching outings here in Dunedin, starting pitching at least. And a 4-0 loss to the Palm Beach Cardinals. No offense, really, to speak of. 2 hits. One for Lopez, one for Clemens. Clemens had a double. Simeon Woods-Richardson back in the rotation after coming off the injured list. He went 6 innings with 2 hits, 1 run, but it was unearned, and 2 walks with 5 strikeouts. It was Maximo Castillo giving up 3 runs of his own. Now we're going to visit the Lansing Lugnuts. The Lansing Lugnuts, our Class A team in the Midwest League. They had a rough week, winning 1, losing 5. South Bend, who they were dominating at the beginning of the season, they lost 10-5. Offensively, Philip Clark continues his hot streak with a home run and a double, 2 hits there. 2 hits for Yorman Rodriguez, including a triple. Jordan Groshans, 1 for 4. Adam Kloffenstein, another rough start for him. Although he did strike out 5, it was not pretty. A 9-1 loss. Offensively, very little going on. Philip Clark, though, with another home run, his second in his second consecutive game. 1 for 2 for Groshans with a double, and he came out of the game, but we don't see anything to speak of with that. He wasn't. He was pinch hit for, but it doesn't say anything about an injury. Jared DeCesare didn't get out of the first inning. I think he was injured while pitching, and he seems to be okay. Hobie Harris, 4 runs for him. Fitz Stadler, a couple runs. Will McCaffer and Kobe Johnson, some solid work to finish the game. Then we had a 4-2 loss. 6 hits for the Lugnuts. We had a double from Clark, so he continues to swing a hot bat. Eric Rivera with a double. McGregory Contreras with a double. Nobody had more than 1 hit. Nick Fraze, an okay outing. 5 innings, 2 runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Gillingham and Quinones each gave up a run in relief. And we check for injuries, and we see none. And a 5-3 loss to the Great Lakes Loons, playing in beautiful Midland, Michigan. They are I believe the Dodgers affiliate. Hunter Steinmetz with a home run, going 1 for 4, 3 RBI. Yorman Rodriguez, a double and a single for him. Jordan Groshans, 0 for 2. He also came out of the game fairly early for Tanner Morris. It's interesting that the AI is pinch hitting for him. We need to get him as many at-bats as we can. Brody Rodning is an okay start. It wasn't, I'm not going to write home about it. We move on to August. And in August, we have a 5-4 win against Great Lakes to start the week. And Jordan Groshans, he gets to stay in the game the whole time this time. 1 for 4. Miguel Geraldo was 0 for 4, and Tanner Morris pinch hit for him. 2 hits for Philip Clark. Again, really, really solid week so far. Brandon Izard, okay start. Yeah, I like the number of hits, walks, and runs, but strikeouts could be better. Fitz Stadler, another run. Will McCaffer, Parker Karachi. And the final game of this week, a 6-5 loss. Hunter Steinmetz with a couple hits. Jordan Groshans with another home run. Really heating up here. That's really great to see. Miguel Geraldo, 0 for 3 again. Another 0 for him. 2 hits for Brett Wright. Kloffenstein, another okay start for him. So that's a second okay start in a row. Luke Gillingham got hit for 3 runs. Hobie Harris, Will McCaffer, and Juan Diaz. And that is the week for the Lansing Lugnuts. We check out the Vancouver Canadians. And they had their All-Star game here in the 28th, and their first game following the All-Star break was, and actually, I just want to see if we can take a look at who was on the All-Star team. We can't really see here, can we? All right. The one way to do it might be to go here to the Northwest League And then to see if we can find the All-Stars here. And it doesn't appear to be able to do that. No. So we're just going to go back to that. Okay, so we're going back to July, and our first game was a 2-1 win against Tri-City Dust Devils. We had 2 hits from Leonardo Jimenez, 2 hits from Nick Gonzalez, and 1 hit from Justin Ammons. Antonio Saldana, strong start, but 5 walks is pretty ugly. William Gaston, and that was that. 3-0 loss the next day. Orelvis Martinez, 1 for 2 with 2 walks, a solid game with a double. Patrick Morris with a double. Nick Gonzalez was 0 for 4. Gabriel Ponce, really strong start for him. 7 1/3 innings, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, just 1 run. And into August we go, a 4-3 loss to Boise. Adrian Ramos, 2 for 4, and that's the best single day of anyone. But Orelvis Martinez did hit his second home run in the new level. And remember, Orelvis Martinez is playing in this Northwest League as an 18-year-old. That's pretty young. That's about 3 years below the league average. And he's putting up some decent numbers in 16 games. Joel Concepcion, a solid start. 1 run in 4 innings. Colton Laws, 3 innings, 3 1/3. And 8-2 loss to finish out the week to Boise. 2 hits for Leonardo Jimenez, 2 hits for Francisco Ruiz. Orelvis Martinez, Nick Gonzalez each have a hit. Gonzalez added a walk. Ruiz and Solarte with doubles. And Davis Schneider with a stolen base. Sam Ryan got hit hard on the mound. Austin Havocost, Kyle Huckabee, Andrew McInvale, Winder Garcia. And we go to Bluefield, lovely Bluefield. And Bluefield lost to Burlington in the first game. DeSan Brown, a couple hits for him. He hit a triple. Nick Neal with a home run, 1 for 4 for him. Glenn Santiago with a double. Emmanuel Vizcaíno got the loss. Santos Moreno and Reuter Hernandez finished it off. 12-4 win against Burlington. DeSan Brown, another couple of hits. Angel Camacho with a home run and a double, going 2 for 5. Jose Rivas, 2 for 4, as Glenn Santiago came out of the game early. He was injured, being hit by a pitch. He seems to be okay. Probably just precautionary. Jose Ferrer hit a double and drove in 2 runs. Matt Whalen just went 1 inning before coming out of the game. He is day-to-day moderate with shoulder tendonitis. Nathaniel Perez, 4 innings, 1 run. Milian and Reuter Hernandez finished the game. 9-0 loss here. Glenn Santiago back in the lineup. Nick Neal with a hit. Stuart Baroa with 2 for 3, 2 hits, and Nick Neal had a double. Ian Bedell, solid start. He is coming around. He was our 2nd round pick. He is coming around a little bit. That's a solid outing, and I think he's had a few in a row. 6 innings, 2 runs, 5 innings, 2 runs, 5 innings, 2 runs, 6 innings, 1 run. So he started out really poorly, but he had a 9 ERA as recently as July 8th. He has now gotten that down to 5.71. And a 1-0 loss against Pulaski. And Glenn Santiago, a couple hits. He seems to be recovered. Ethan Smith, another of our draft picks. I think he was our 5th rounder. He was. And he has had another strong start. 5 strikeouts. He had 10 strikeouts in his previous game. 7 innings, no runs, 4 hits, 2 walks. Really nice game there for Ethan Smith. Sam Roberts and Connor Santala finished the game off. 6-5 win against Pulaski. Jose Rivas, 2 hits in 4 at-bats. Josiah Miller, 3 hits. He had a double, and a home run, including 5 RBIs. So great job for Josiah Miller. He's another one of our draftees. Jan Perez, 3 for 5 as well. Kendall Williams with a mediocre start here, 4 2/3. Miguel Olivo, Rafael Moncion, Sam Roberts, Reuter Hernandez, Connor Santala. Lots of guys in the bullpen there, bringing up the rear. Heading into August, 4-0 loss to Pulaski to finish out the week. DeSan Brown with a couple hits, including a double, but he was caught stealing. Zachary Murray and Santos Moreno out there on the mound. No injuries. Always good to see. Let's take a look at the Gulf Coast League now. Lots of players here. Lots of draftees in this team. So in our first game, a 7-1 win. Sorry, a 13-7 loss. I was just looking at the ninth inning. We won the ninth inning 7-1, but lost the game 13-7. So here we have Steven Rivas hitting 2 hits, and we had a triple from Yereth Mordan, and we had a double from Gavin Casas. Mordan here was pinch hitting. Casas 2 for 3. Brandon Fields 1 for 2. We have Jose Izarra 1 for 4 and Marcos de la Rosa 1 for 2. Any injuries are just regular things. Hunter Owen was injured while pitching. Marcus Lee Sang is not our guy, and Brandon Webb is not our guy. Daniel Drew Dowd, Jack Sorrell LeBron. Hunter Owen was the best pitcher in the game for us, but he went down with an injury. Next game was a 5-4 loss. Jag Burden with a hit. Brandon Fields with 2 hits, 2 for 4. Michael Arias 2 for 4. And Burden, Arias, Casas, and Fields with doubles. And Liam Norris 2 2/3, 5 runs. Anders Tolhurst, Jonathan Bernal, Alex Ayala, and Max Rychich finished it off. No injuries. Good. 5-4 win. Turned it around on the Gulf Coast League Phillies West. We had Jean-Christophe Masson, a good Quebec boy, 3 for 3 with a double and a home run, his first professional home run, 2 walks. Great game there. 3 for 5 for Gavin Casas, 3 for 4 for Gary David, and then Jose Izarra 2 for 4. So pretty solid game offensively in this one. Ben Hernandez, 4 runs in 5 innings. Not pretty great, but the bullpen was very strong. Max Rychich with the save. He's got some potential as a reliever. 7-1 for the Tigers East. And what do we got here? We have Trey Hondras with 2 for 4. And just 1 hit for a couple of other guys. Hondras with a home run, his first pro home run. Carson Hamro, 3 1/3, 5 runs, 7 hits. Not great. And that is that one. And Riley Green had 5 hits. And we head to August with 1 game, and it's a 2-3 to 3-2 loss to the Yankees East in extra innings. Just 1 hit for each one. Brandon Fields with a home run. He was 1 for 2 with 2 RBI. That's his first pro home run. So we had a lot of first pro home runs this week. Camden Minacci, 5 innings, 1 run. That was our best starting pitching outing this week. And Max Rychich got the loss. And, of course, we're going to go down to just take a look at a few guys in the Dominican Summer League. We're going to take a look at the progress of batting stats, scope, Dominican Rookie League. We're going to take a look at it. So Raquelvin De Castro is no longer hot. He is still putting up some decent numbers. But if you can see here, Estevan Machado, who is the other guy who we're really looking at in terms of prospect status. Machado is, while his batting average is lower, he has the edge here in both slugging percentage and on-base percentage. And that's actually tougher to do when your batting average is lower because your batting average informs both of those stats. So that is really good. Hanley Acevedo, and the other guy we're watching is Alfredo Chacon. Chacon is our big international free agent acquisition this season. He's hitting 349. 444, 398. So he's got 4 doubles. That's good to see. Again, we don't think it's going to be a while for his power to develop, and I don't think he's supposed to have too much power. 55. So I mean, if he And again, that's our head scout. OSA thinks it's 60. So it does look like he's going to have some power that will develop. But I'm also expecting these numbers to kind of normalize a little bit, just as our scouts get a better idea of what he can do. All right, pitching-wise, is there anybody really to look at? I mean, Yeko Valdez, he may have some potential. That strikeout rate is pretty low, though, for the low level and the fact that he's 18. Juan Martinez, a 21-year-old, and he's got a low strikeout rate. That's not looking good. Jose Garcia. So, yeah, there's not a ton here when it comes to pitching talent. We've got a couple of guys with some pretty high strikeout rates. Yonaivi Polonia. He hasn't pitched a ton. 2 walks, 13 strikeouts. So he's a guy that I might actually promote to the Gulf Coast League. We have 23 pitchers on this team. We have 32 pitchers on this team. We are going to be moving guys a lot, I think, in the off season. I mean, we're into August now. We may, especially in the off season, when there are guys ready, we're going to be moving them more. Alexander Ayala has a solid ERA, but that strikeout rate is really low. Max Rychich, strong strikeout rate. A little bit high on the walks, but he's a little bit older. He's 19 now. He might be able to hold his own in Bluefield, so we're going to move him up. And I'm just trying to see if there's anybody else we can move. Anybody else who's really earned a promotion. Tolhurst, 12 innings, and he's got 24 strikeouts. So he's got 2 strikeouts per game. So he's definitely able to move up. And he's a college guy the Blue Jays selected last year who didn't pitch during the season. Alexis Carmona. Yeah, let's move him up and see what happens. And a lot of these guys haven't pitched very much yet. Jack Sorrell LeBron. Yeah, so a lot of these guys haven't really pitched yet. Camden Minacci is still 18, so I'm not going to worry about moving him up. That cuts it down a little bit. We are going to have to release a bunch of guys in the offseason. Again, we have 24 pitchers here in Bluefield. So Reuter Hernandez has a lot of walks, but you know what? He struck out 32 in 16 2/3 innings. He's going to move up to Vancouver. And again, what we're trying to do here, I'm going to move up Ethan Smith. I think Ethan Smith has been more than good. What we're trying to do here is just clear out some of these pitchers, move up guys who have really impressed. Zachary Murray would move if he was a little older. He's still just 18. So I'm going to leave him there. 22 innings for Trevor Koenig, and he's walked almost as many as he's struck out, so that's not a good thing to see. Sam Roberts, he's really turned things around. He started off rough, so I'm going to move him up to Vancouver. Anybody else here with, some innings under his belt who has a good strikeout to walk rate? Santos Moreno's another one. All right, we're down to 20 pitchers, which hopefully will thin things out a little bit. And we've got 16 in Vancouver, so that's not bad. Anybody here deserving of a promotion? 18 innings, 13 strikeouts, 10 saves for Felipe Castaneda, just 2 walks and 26 strikeouts. That is definitely promotion worthy. Austin Habacost, also promotion worthy. Colton Laws, I'm going to keep him here. All right, and so we're going to go. And it looks like Reuter Hernandez will become the closer. And up to Lansing, where we have now 16 pitchers. We've added a few. Anybody really promotion worthy here? And the answer is not really. Brandon Iser just was promoted, so I'm not going to move him just yet. But aside from that, nobody really is. And in fact, there are some guys here that I'm definitely considering releasing. So I'm going to wait till after the season to do any of that. All right. And just looking at some of our hitters, Miguel Geraldo has had a poor week. Jordan Groshans is coming on. Philip Clark is really coming on. He's got that OPS plus up to 96, and it wouldn't surprise me if that is above league average by the time the season finishes. Maybe hopefully get to about 110. Trevor Schwecke is still doing well. Tanner Morris. If we look at where we've got more prospects, that's down in Vancouver. We've got more offensive hitting prospects. Scotty Bradley is still ripping things up. But again, he's not playing all that often. Nick Gonzalez still doing okay, but he's definitely coming back down to earth after a red-hot start. Davis Schneider is a little bit cold. Or Elvis Martinez is still hitting above league average despite being 18. In Dunedin, the guys we're really keeping an eye on, Gabriel Moreno got a 113 OPS plus. Samad Taylor, again, he's come down to earth. We're not talking about him as much as we were early in the year. That's okay. I think we'd give him the rest of the year here and then move him up to Dunedin for next season. We've got some day-to-day injuries. Some guys are banged up a little bit. On the mound, Simeon Woods-Richardson is back in the rotation, so that's great to see. He had a very strong start. Alec Manoa's had a couple of solid starts in a row if we look at what he's done. 7 innings, 1 run, so that's really strong. But he did get banged up a few outings in a row. And up to Double-A, again, not a ton going on, although Josh Winkowski has a couple of strong starts in a row for the Fisher Cats. He went 7 innings. He's got 3 strong starts in a row, actually. That's 3. He went at least 7 innings, give up 2 runs or less. So really nice to see there from Josh Winkowski. And Elvis Luciano, in his first 2 games back, 4 innings, 3 runs, and then 6 innings and 2 runs. So not bad for Elvis Luciano. For the lineups, again, Alejandro Kirk is the guy that we're watching the most. His OPS plus is down to 127, but still fairly strong. Kevin Smith, he's got his batting average up to 270, so he's really improved. He's bounced back this year. And Josh Palacios, really strong, and he's red hot. He's got 15 home runs leading the team, so he's really tapping into some power. He seems to have peaked there. He doesn't seem to be able to get much better, and he's very fringy now. Usually what we see is in a player's second year at a level, you tend to see some improvement, especially if you think he's too good for that level. So Palacios is still good for the level, but he may be approaching his peak. And in Buffalo, we don't have a lot of prospects. Anthony Alford has definitely shown some improvement. Forrest Wall, after a rough start in Buffalo, he's still pretty rough. I'll say that. 75 OPS plus. Andy Burns, really strong. I like to see that from Andy. Patrick Kivlehan leads the club in home runs with 25 by a long shot. And Riley Adams has not produced at all. He's got a 55 OPS plus. So catcher-wise, Caleb Joseph is definitely producing much better. And when we go to the Toronto Blue Jays, my voice is breaking up a little bit today, but Danny Jansen is really falling off. He's fallen below the Mendoza line at 199. And, you know, to be honest, I think I've got to do something about that. I'm going to send McGuire down to the minors. And so I need a catcher. And, I mean, Caleb Joseph is the best option, but I have a feeling I don't need to put him on the 40-man. Okay, so Caleb Joseph, I'm just going to do a quick request for lineups for my bench coach, and it looks like Danny Jansen is going to do the bulk of the catching still, but I'm going to do that so it's basically every other game. And again, I'll do the non-DH lineups another time. JD Martinez, we moved him up to the 4th spot. Danny Jansen is here. I don't like that. I'm going to bring him down and bring up Travis Shaw. Biggio down there, and Joe Panic, I'm going to have him play a lot more often. Panic is hitting pretty well. So I'm going to have Panic actually. Yeah, I'm going to say let's play off and give Santiago Espinal a game every once in a while. Teoscar is going to get a lot of things, but a lot of options. I'm going to make that every second game for McKinney. And JD Martinez is our DH. He's going to be our DH no matter what. So same thing, every second game. Santiago Espinal is going to come in and play against righties a lot more. In fact, he's going to be our everyday second baseman against lefties. Teoscar, we're going to have him play against lefties. He's a right-handed hitter, whereas McKinney's a lefty. Although we do have a lefty in Fisher that we can't work around. And I think Travis Shaw is a lefty as well. So we have a lot of lefties in the lineup, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get JD Martinez. He's a righty. He's going to offer us a little bit better balance in the lineup against left-handed pitching. And we look at our pitching. Trent Thornton has had a couple of decent outings in a row. I think I'm going to send... Who am I going to send down? I'm going to send nobody yet. We're going to give it one more week, and then Chase Anderson will come up. One more week for Chase Anderson to sort of regain his mojo. He's had a couple of starts. One was not good. One was much better. And that is going to be what we'll do next week. So that is it for today. Thanks for joining us. I'm JayBlue, and you can find me at bluejaysfromaway.com and at jaysfromaway on Twitter. Thanks to GM Games for hosting us here, and have a great day.